All right, everyone, welcome to tonight's coverage of the AMA Rogue Energy Xfinity Series. Ready to go here tonight again. Should be a great night of racing here tonight. Thank you guys for coming out. This should be a ton of fun. Georgia Peaches 250 here tonight. Going to be a handful all evening. These cars are going to be all over the racing surface, bump drafting, trying to do everything they can do to make this happen here tonight. So again, we are ready here this evening. Ready to go. So again, this field's stacked up, ready to rock and roll. Going to be a good one here tonight. Again, thank you guys so much. Coming off round number 2 earlier this year. Going to be a ton of fun as they work their way by. And again, this field going to battle it out here at the high stakes of Atlanta Motor Speedway. Again, this race going to be 250 mile in length qualifying, going to be huge here tonight to make sure you can get a good start. That is going to be so very important to how the night plays out for you here this evening. Again, thanks everybody. Let's get ready to go here in just a moment. A minute left in qualifying here tonight for everybody before we go green flag racing, which should be a great night. And again, right here on top of the board, Jason Henney going to be the top of the charts. Derek right now second on the charts right now. So Derek second on those charts. That is going to be a good spot for him to roll if he can stay there here for the remainder of this qualifying session. But again, here tonight, that is going to be one of the more important things. Not like Daytona and Talladega where it doesn't matter. Here tonight, just due to the size of the racetrack, this is qualifying and getting the car up front going to matter a ton, in my opinion, to how your night's going to go. We've seen it earlier in the fall or in the spring when we ran here as well. You see right now that is Harley Day on the racetrack. The driver is 62 right now, trying to get his laps in as we come to the end of qualifying for the Georgia Peaches 250 here tonight, 250 miles. Your race distance here tonight is going to make it one heck of a go as you see Harley Day working his way through. Alrighty, everybody, qualifying is going to be over here momentarily in the Georgia Peaches 200 or 250, and here is your lineup. We'll wait and the way the guys will get going here tonight with David Dunwoody, Kyle Heath, Jason Henney, Harley Day right there, Derek Jewett right there in 5th, Brian Sharp, Kendall Paul, James Hodgins, Ted Craven, Trevor Benz, and then it's going to be John Hooch's, Pat O'Brien, and the Kurt man there as well. All right, there is your qualifying here tonight. Let's see where everybody lines up. And let's grab some of the guys up near the front here, including David Dunwoody in the 28 machine, who will start from the pole here tonight in that beautiful Black Magic race car. And let's talk to him. Hey, David Dunwoody, Matt in the booth, got a copy?
What's up, Nat?
Not much, man. Well, here you go, putting the car on the pole here tonight for the Georgia Peaches 250. Can you keep it up there and make it roll all night?
I don't know if I want to keep it up here. I kind of was learning a few things there in practice. I led a lot in practice. We got a really fast Bulldog Coffee Kevin Harvick throwback. We got a hot rod. I think we could drive to the front if we have to.
I think that machine can get up to the front and get it done. So what's the plan here? Drop back, try to save the cars. You know, there's so many options this style of race kind of gives you.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think I learned a few moves But I think it's going to be tires. I think it's going to be a tire game tonight.
Tires in Atlanta. That'll be interesting. Well, I'll let you go back to the Black Magic Control Center. And good luck, man.
Thank you. You have a good night, too.
Hey, I'm going to try to, bud.
I hope I'm talking to you again later tonight.
Yes, sir. That would be the plan. Or Derek. If Derek don't win in this paint scheme, I'm going to smack him. But that's a thing. All right, good luck.
He's got a cool paint scheme, but I don't support that paint scheme. It's not my paint
well, I do.
You're allowed. You're allowed. Anybody can pick their own paint shop. I just prefer Black Magic Studios.
Well, of course, I prefer Black Magic Studios.
And when you see the new one that I'm creating for Derek that we've been talking about for his new sponsor, I think you'll change your mind.
All right, we'll see. We'll see. All right, bud, it's go time.
And
all right, it is go time here in Atlanta. The field will line up, get ready to go. 163 laps, 250 miles. We are ready in Georgia to go racing here tonight. The field will double up, and let's see what we got. Man, this is going to be a doozy. 2x2. Here we go, doubled up, ready to rock and roll. The field out of turn 4. These gorgeous green walls here tonight plays host to one of the fastest series in iRacing. It's the Rogue Energy Xfinity Series, and we are going to come through the Geico restart zone and get the green flag and get this round underway here for the 2024 season. Headed for turn number 1. Nice job, Harley Day, David Dunwoody. Everybody coming up through the gears here, trying to figure out what they need to do. Day on pit road, not making the start here. And already the bottom line going to pull ahead. Down the back straightaway here, no surprise. Back straightaway, bottom line, Charlie. Everybody going to get to the bottom. And we'll begin the process here that we'll see over the next hour and a half or so of figuring out where you want to run these cars. Here we go, one car out of the line. That's Jason. He's going to get chipped. He let a teammate right to the back bumper and Dunwoody. Not sure that I'd have made that move. Not sure that was a good move to make, but he went up there. He's got a little bit of help now from the 13 of Heath, trying to double up out front. Into 3 past the Atlanta sign. Right now, this field trying to tiptoe, figure out what they need to do over the coming laps here of this event. Don't get up there and get in trouble early. Don't make a mistake. Right here is a good time to get the tires heated up, get everything strategy-wise squared away, and don't get yourself into trouble way early, right? We're 3 laps in. No need to go get it done right now. You got plenty of time, plenty of miles just to get in 2 lanes and right. I don't see the point of pushing right now. If you do that, you may get yourself in trouble trying to push the Xfinity car too hard. Right now, doubled up, 1 car up next to the fence. He gets way free. Back of the car, steps out, tries to hang on. Bottom lane, rolling with 2 cars, able to hang in there pretty well. Shows you how strong that bottom is. Dunwoody and Derek right now, the 2 committed to the inside lane right now. About 4 cars, 3 cars now hooked up on the top. A lot of guys felt like the top may be the way to go with the looseness of the race car, but I kind of feel like it might be the other way. The bottom might be a good place to stay, and if you look up the track about 300, 400 yards, that looks to be Harley Day, or not Harley Day, excuse me. Nope, that is Harley Day. Up there riding by himself. He's going to have a pack of cars bearing down on him here very soon. So he's got to play this right to get out of the way and not cause a problem. One car in the outside wall. Trevor got up there a little bit too high, got the dirty stuff, got the fence. He'll jump back to the bottom. And now kind of back single file right around the bottom of this racetrack for the moment. John Hooch is back there trying that outside line just a little bit, trying to figure out what he needs. Kendall Paul back here at 8. Paul trying to figure out what the Storm Tracker 78's got to do. You see on board with Paul here, working the bottom in the throttle pretty hard. Not lifting right now. We see how the tire wears. There's John Hooches, and again, about 150, 200 yards up the racetrack from the leaders. You see him just at the top of your screen. That's Harley Day. He's going to be off the pace. And with that being said, you know, these guys got to maneuver their way around the slower traffic that will be Harley Day really quickly. And you see everybody working their way to the bottom. Good job. Yeah, Devil Changer, this could be a tornado in a trailer park. That's for damn sure. If you're trying to work your way by David Dunwoody up front, here we go. Let's see if this whole pack can work their way by. Harley, nice and clean. Harley needs to hold just one line. Make sure that you don't move around, because you got a pack of cars right here. Here we go. He'll go to the top side, get everybody to the bottom, and the pack shall work their way by. He'll go 3 laps down. But on the right side, no contact. It's a Flappy Bird. What's up, Flappy Bird? 10 on the board. I mean, if you're bored, you can come over here and hop in the booth now. I'm not going to say no. Single foul right now on the bottom. Nice job. There's the 7. Double single foul right around the inside of the racetrack. 11 on the board right down this field of race cars. John there as well up top. Flappy Big Bird there in the chat as they work their way by. 11 on the board this time by. 11 at the stripe. Hey man, I got a chair right beside of me. Nice and clean, brand new leather. Cleaned off really well. I mean, you know, there's popcorn, there's Coke, and also the other type of Coke, allegedly. But, you know, the booth is a busy place. Working our way through right now. On the bottom right here. Going to be David Dunwoody leading the charge. So it is a conga line around the bottom. We're not going Noah's Ark style. We're more going across the land bridge right now, single file, right around the bottom of the racetrack right at the moment. Man, this ain't no tornado in a trailer park. This is more like the tornado in the great ocean as they work their way single file at the bottom. Dunwoody continuing to lead right now. Dunwoody. Garrett. Here goes Kyle. Here goes Ted. John Hooch is back there as well, all single filed out. 91 and Craven up there trying to work the top. Nothing doing right now. Everybody married to the inside line. Nobody's even having an affair with that outside line yet. Except for Ted up there. He's over there trying it, but yeah, he got a little bit tight there, had to come out of the throttle. That's not going to help the momentum up top. Ted's up there. He's got a little bit of help with him. His date for the evening right now, John Hooch is right there. John, you're supposed to bring flowers, my man. You're going to get up there on the top side. he brought flowers here as they worked 2 by 2. There's the 33. Right now, 15 on the board of 163 here tonight. From Atlanta Motor Speedway, and it's David Dunwoody continuing to lead the party out front. Everybody single file, trying to figure out what they need to do to make this happen here tonight. Big bump coming down the back. $16 on the board right at the moment. And again, single file Carly out top, trying to figure out what they need to do here before we get to the end of stage 1. That will be here at the end of lap 40. So we're close to being halfway through stage number 1 here tonight in Atlanta. The Georgia's Peaches 250 continuing to roll right now. One car in the wall there, scrambling the outside line. Everybody trying to hang on. And it's a pterodactyl in the ding-dong damn house. How about that? What's up, buddy?
The pterodactyl flies again. What's going on, Matty J?
Thanks for the backup for a few minutes, man. Hello, buddy.
Hey, man, under the lights in prime time, hot Atlanta the place. Why not jump in the booth and say hi to some old friends and alongside one of my great colleagues, a.k.a. yourself, when these guys are out there doing some business on the racetrack.
Yes, sir, man. Right now, but it's not a double file no arc style. It's more like single file land bridge out front right now. Everybody committed on the bottom. Nobody having a fair up top right now.
Yeah, because these guys know they start running Noah's Ark situation. They're going to burn that right rear off quick, fast, and in a hurry. And in this Xfinity car, once that happens, game over. You're a ticking time bomb out there on the racetrack.
Yeah, man, that's going to be big. If you burn that right rear off, you're going to be in trouble in a hurry. You've called quite a few races of this monstrosity of a racetrack. What do you think, man? Daytona, Talladega, Atlanta now, one of the, what you would call, insanity inducing type of racing.
Very well said, Matt. I could not agree with you more. I mean, this racetrack here is probably the most intense of the three. Daytona, Talladega, that's your standard textbook plate race, right? You throw a car you throw a truck in the infield, you put a car on the racetrack, you got a 50-50 shot going out there and winning that race. This place here, though, this is an entirely different animal. It's almost deceiving out there on the racetrack. The old Atlanta, that was a cheese grater. That would shred your tires up quick, fast, and in a hurry. But as I said a couple minutes ago, these drivers here, they're seasoned veterans. They know how to get it done out there on the racetrack. A lot of laps left in competition, and that's why you're seeing these guys single file, ripping the bottom of this thing. The minute you start getting 2x2, side by side, some of those old vibes from Atlanta start and come back into play. Talking about that tire wear, specifically that right rear, and these drivers know you start getting into that too soon, it opens the scheme of things wide open for some side-by-side calamity, and I think that's why you see these guys right now just being patient out there logging laps. Remember, you got to be in it to win it, and that means staying alive past lap 1.
Well, me and you both married men. If you piss that right rear off, it's kind of like pissing your wife off. It's going to be a long, hard night.
This is true.
Take care of it.
Well said, brother. I could not agree with you more. In fact, look who's out front leading this thing. The old mean machine, David Dunwoody in the 28.
Yeah, he's got help with teammate Derek right there. They haven't left the bottom. They've been married to that inside line, and right now it's paid off for the Dunwoody camp. And I think that's the thing. If you got a teammate right there with you, Matt, it's going to be really hard for anybody to get up there on the top, get any sort of momentum to make anything happen.
I mean, cannot say enough good things about David Dunwoody. Not only is he one heck of a graphics design guy. You want to put some vibe in your ride, get out of the static, go see the guys at Black Magic, David Dunwoody, HMFIC over there. Then talking about a great teammate, a wingman, a sidekick, a Robin to your Batman, if you will. Derek Jewett there in that 7 machine. So you got 2 teammates, basically leading the charge up here. If you look further back, then you got Jason and the 9 ride, Kyle Heath. 2 really big powerhouses in this series. But right now, with the way this race is unfolding, 26 in the books out of the scheduled 163, it's going to take quite a force to go up there and dethrone that 28 and that 7 machine.
Yeah, you said it was like Batman and Robin. It's more like SpongeBob and Patrick out front right now. Riding a long bikini bottom at the moment.
Which one's wearing the bikini?
We got everybody hangs on. That would be Derek. That would be Derek.
Well, someone there around that 7th, 8th place position almost went up there and self-inflicted some concrete poisoning. I'm not sure if you could have fit a piece of paper between the car and the safer barrier. That was definitely a get skinny moment.
I think what happened there, I'm not an expert, but I think what may have happened and occurred, folks, is somebody got kind of worried about Derek being in a bikini and headed for the outside wall really quick.
Tried to slide it in the old back door.
Not that way, just outside wall.
The back door.
Dunwoody continuing to hang on. Derek there as well. And take a look. They got a little bit of challenge at the moment, my man.
They must have heard us talking here in the broadcast booth, because before, we started even commenting about going up there and trying to dethrone Dunwoody and Derek. These guys were, conveyor belt style, ripping the bottom of the racetrack. The minute we started throwing some shade towards Dunwoody and those guys, these 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, these guys have really turned up the excitometer inside the cockpit of their race cars. In fact, go to the high side of the racetrack, top shelf where Mama hides the cookies. Brian Sharp in the 125 ride, he's starting to feel a little racy, working with Jason in the 9.
Yeah, they are, but one car just about went around. Right rear got mad in a hurry. And we're coming to 10 to go in stage 1, boys and girls. It's about time to give out some stage wins here. Man, oh man, stage 1 coming down to it. Pterodactyl, who's it going to be to win stage number 1 in Hot Atlanta tonight?
I got to go with the car that's been a force at the front of this piece. Started on the pole, Mr. Black Magic himself, David Dunwoody. As far as I'm concerned, he's already went up and done it. We just got to wait until, the clock strikes midnight, if you will. That 28's going to win stage 1.
I got to go with you. He's got the 7 with him there. They have been in lockstep since we put the green flag in the air, and they continue to do exactly what they need to do. Right to the bottom, to the top, anywhere they want to go. Keep that car out front, and it's working. Kyle Heath trying to come up with something, but he's quickly running out of options right now in 3rd.
Yeah, the sands of time are starting to wind down to 0, but you can see how these guys just behind the 28 and the 7, they are getting really racy. 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, side by side, 2 by 2. In fact, coming out of the 3 and 4 complex last time by, they looked like the Blue Angels or the Thunderbirds putting on an air show. They were into it so hard.
There you go, and you see one car, Kyle Heath, starting to make progress up top. He has at least gotten by Derek. I don't know if he's going to get by Dunwoody, but he's going to break him up here. Derek scrambles to get line. That was tied off too. You couldn't put a paper clip between those 2 races.
Oh, you talking about going deep. The 13 conjures up a Louisville slider, threads the needle, but just like that, just as soon as it happened, here comes the 7 back, retaking what was his as he glues himself back to the rear of that dark horse Ford Mustang, being piloted by David Dunwoody, as those two teammates are hooked back up nose to tail again. Now, what can that that Chevrolet Camaro do? He's doing exactly what the only option he has right now, fighting for his life by himself, working the high side of the racetrack and holding on to that side draft for dear life. Gonna see if he has enough time for this 9 to come up there and help him, see if he can give him a shove.
Tick-tock on the clock because it's ticking down right now like I'm catching. But at the moment, David Dunwoody hang on.
You did not pull out the Kesha already.
Yes, I did. Dunwoody with the lead, but he's got company. Oh,
Well, the gravy train's starting to get formed up here on the high side of the racetrack. Big time block from Dunwoody, but the 13's got a big head of steam, and now his teammate's actually going to act as the battering ram and pushes the 13 to the lead. I can't believe it. We have a changing of the torch at the front of the field as these laps wind down at stage 1.
he came in like a wrecking ball and got the race lead away. Now he's just got to keep him behind him. Dunwoody going to go up top with Derek. Derek's going to try to get to the right rear. He gets a nose chopped off.
He about ended up drinking through a straw for the next month.
Yes, he did. Now he'll jump back to the bottom. Dunwoody on his tailpipe, and David's around. Oh, Derek moves on. What a save out of Derek.
That was a save conjured up out of the heavens. I don't think I've ever seen one that good in this Xfinity car at the new Atlanta. That's going to cost him a ton of spots out there on the racetrack. But other than a soiled race suit, that car continues to charge on.
Now that changes the complexion. What about Trevor Benz right here in second? Could he get the stage win here at Atlanta? He's here to make some noise. Down the back straight away we go. It is 2 to go in the stage. Big Bird Matt in the booth ready to call a fantastic end to stage number 1 here tonight.
Coming out of the 3 and 4 complex, Kyle Heath continues to lead the charge, doing the dirty bird here in Atlanta. Trevor Bids now in the 33 machine, hard on his tail, closing in. In fact, knocking on the back door. It's not delivery. It's Trevor Bids in the 33. Oh, he gets really tight coming off the corner. He catches a piece of the wall. That's going to cost him some big-time speed in the mojo department. That opens the door for, you guessed it, David Dunwoody diving it in down low off the bottom. But I think he's not going to have enough time. Is at the line. The 13 is going to lead that lap as well.
Yes, sir. It's 1 to go in stage 1 right now. Here we go. Panic starting to ensue out front. Who can go where? Can somebody grab the stage win away from Kyle Heath? He's going to make that car wide into 3 and 4. There's nobody to challenge right now. He'll get a little bit of a gap. We got problems. Big incident in the 3. Cautions out. James Hodges' car absolutely demolished as he sets at the exit of turn 4.
Hodges got used and abused point blank in broad daylight like a redheaded stepchild. That 88 machine is completely destroyed.
Oh,
How Kendall Paul made it through there, I'll never know.
take away.
I mean, he was ground zero in that dark horse, and somehow he continues to drive on. I thought Kendall Paul's ride was going to be a massacred mess as well, but that is not the case.
Take a look. Unfortunately, the 33 car destroyed. Thought Trevor had a shot at the stage win there, but unfortunately, he's going to bring that car really down to pit road, and I think the right front may be broken on that race car as well. That's the unfortunate part with this new damage model. You get in a wall like that, it's not a good day.
No, I mean, the front of that 9 machine looks like it got kicked in the face by a rhinoceros.
While all that was going on, David Dunwoody was up front with Kyle Heath. Kyle Heath grabbed the stage. Dunwoody was right there. It really affected him when he lost his teammate there in that draft. I think that threw him off.
Well, yeah, it's kind of like Star Wars out there. They had that force field out at the front of the field between Dunwoody there and Jewett in that 7 machine, and then once Bins was able to get in there and kind of separate those two, it kind of threw their vibe off at the front of this thing, and after that it was wide open for the taking, and Heath was able to capitalize as they were going nuclear destruction mode behind him.
Yeah, he was. What do you say, my man? We go say thank you to our partners that make this happen. Keep the lights on and keep the ticker ticking here at Extreme TV. After we do that, we'll be back to go green flag racing yet again. Folks, we'll be back after this commercial break. It's Matt and the Pterodactyl in the booth. It's the Pterodactyl and the Pterodactyl's baby Pterodactyl here in the booth here tonight, ready to go yet again, lined up, ready to go for stage 2 in the Georgia Peaches 250.
Well, if that was any type of inkling of what kind of peaches we can expect at the end of this thing, Matt, I don't want any.
I personally don't like peaches. I like watermelons, but that's just me personally. But we're going to go green once again. Green. Straight away. Oh, my God.
Green flag in the air. Hard on the loud pedal, climbing up through the H pattern once again here as we get back to the live side of things here at Hotlanta. Kyle Heath, you're going to lead them through to turns 1 and 2 complex as these guys get back up to speed one more time. David Dunwoody led a majority of that first stage, was dethroned at the end. I bet you he's going to have something to say as he's going to take it way up to the high side of the racetrack. In fact, he's using the nosebleed section. And Matt, look who he has in tow, his old teammate, trusty number 7.
Yes, he does. He had engine number 7 right behind him. Up there doing it Jonathan Davenport style. High, wide, and handsome right now. Trying to get back to the race lead. 2 front cars will do that. And they'll clear Kyle Heath with no choice but to wave the white flag and surrender to the Black Magic Brigade that's up above him right now.
Well, the Black Magic Brigade has got that dark voodoo rolling at the front of this piece as Dunwoody takes the lead back here once again at Atlanta.
He's like,
the question is,
whoa,
hold on to it.
Jesus, Derek, you're not supposed to do that 2 times in one race.
He woulda, coulda, shoulda.
He's got some fast hands in that race car. Starting to think AI's driving that race car as quick as he's moving those hands.
I'm about to change his name to Shifty McGee.
Yeah, shift left, shift right, shift sideways. Almost shifted upside down as well. But right now, we're back in the single file brigade, down the back straightaway, scooping along, and making it happen here tonight.
Yeah, Dunwoody's Black Magic and Pals currently 1-2 here at Atlanta once again. But you know, Matt, I mean, some of these other drivers here in this field, you know, like the 13, the 78 Kendall Paul starting to claw his way forward as well and becoming a factor in this piece. You know, Dunwoody did a masterful job, you know, during a majority of that first stage. However, I think they kind of used up a little bit of their good years. Those Dr. Feelgoods became feel bads near the end of that stage. I want to see if Dunwoody kind of revises his strategy here a little bit and perhaps let some of these other cars go out there and lead a couple laps. This, you know, making him be able to go in the, you know, a couple cars back, benefit from that draft, not putting as much wear and tear and abuse on his equipment. We'll see if that changes, you know, the results as stage 2 comes to an end.
I tell you what, the problem they had at the end of the stage, they quit treating that right rear tire like a wife and started treating it like a mistress, and it got really mad at them really fast.
So you're saying they took the baseball bat to it?
Exactly. Back single file right now out front, 2 by 2 behind them. It's going to be Dunwoody. It's Derek. It's Brian Sharp right there up front, back single file.
Oh, there's old Sugar and Spice. Brian Sharp making his name known here once again in the AMA Cup Series. There's a guy that knows how to light it up as well. You know, Matt, I can't believe it's been, you know, almost 6-7 months since the last time you and I called a race up here in the AMA broadcast booth. Boy, time flies by when you're having fun, but not as much fun as it is when I'm up here watching these guys put on a show with you.
Yeah, man, it's been a while, but of course you're back for the playoffs on Fridays. I'm going to steal you as many Thursdays as I can because, you know, my current situation. But, you know, there's one thing I got to tell you. You said Brian was Sugar and Spice, but he's not anything nice. I guarantee you that. Working the way down the back, they'll spread out. Hard single file right now up front. But one car dredging the ocean up top. That's going to be the 13 trying to move forward. Kyle Heath trying to make it work like the Vikings right now. Trying to move in and conquer a new land and hoping not to see Valhalla at this point.
Yeah, that's right. In fact, he's kind of roll. See, that's where you got to be careful. The 78 of Paul there had a big-time run. Got to push from that other Ford out there on the racetrack in the 72. The 13 was kind of offset from the 78 and then the caboose position on that inside line, and he almost got freight trained by the man that wrecks a race car better than anyone I've seen in iRacing, Kendall Paul.
Yes, sir. Kendall Paul going to try to jump up there now, getting left all alone. Tell you what, he's a storm chaser by trade. But tonight, the storm's right in front of him. He's got to go get it and get it done fast here. There's no radar to help him tonight. We'll see what he can do on his own.
Well, right now, he's got to do what we like to call a cord punch. He's right there in the heart of this storm. Those big towering cumulus, they're dropping baseball-side hailstones, or they're chucking them at the front of that Mustang he's in. So he's going to have to use some storm chaser instincts right now and get himself out of that hornet's nest where he can get right in that RFD, the inflow notch, if you will, and set his sights out there for the prize. And that is the EF5 twister at the front of this piece, currently being occupied by that David Dunwoody machine.
All I can say, if he feels it, chase it right now because, he got the wall. He felt it all right. He felt the outside wall. And David Dunwoody can take one of the lead right now, trying to pull away at the moment.
Yeah, I think that turbulent air got up there and kind of ruffled his feathers a little bit. And, that type of contact there, that's not going to hurt Kendall Paul. That's just going to wake him up and let him know things are happening in front of him.
I think he went from being the tornado wrangler for a second to the outside wall wrangler. Dumb wood.
Well, I'll tell you what, concrete and hailstones, I mean, they'll both rattle your core. So I agree with you on that one, bud.
But right now, we're back to single file. Guys at home, I know you don't like to see it, neither to be in the booth, but by golly, that's the smartest thing you can do here in Atlanta is just get in line and knock these laps off and go racing at about lap 160.
Yeah, I know for the folks at home or even us up here in the broadcast booth, when they start running the conveyor belt, single file out there on the racetrack, I understand it's not the most exciting side-by-side competition you've ever seen on the iRacing servers, but that allows more of these drivers to stay in contention. Remember, you got to survive to be alive. It's all about having the car and the equipment that can go out there and get it done when it's go time, and that's 5 or so laps to go at a place like Atlanta. When we go back to the side-by-side racing, as we see in right now on the racetrack, is the 13 feels the urge to splurge towards the front. That's when big things can happen, and big things, in the not-so-great department is typically that leads to big-time calamity or big-time explosions out there on the racetrack. 13 gets a heck of a run, though. He's going to be able to clear now if he's decisive about it. He's going to leave that low side lane open. That's going to allow the 25 to close in onto the back of the 7. The 13's going to get strung out to dry on the high side again. Here comes Dunwoody to pick him up, though. He's looking for a push going down the backstretch.
I don't think that was by choice. That right there, that race car started doing the hokey pokey do-da-day dance, and next thing you know, up the hill we went. He held on, but I mean, that could have been big as the car went up the hill in a hurry.
I know you said the hokey pokey, and he definitely wasn't doing the safety dance. If you know that song, you know what I'm getting at when I say that. But now it's a side-by-side, 2x2, all-out trench warfare here at the front of this thing. The 13 giving a big old shove to the driver of the 28 Dunwoody. That's going to put him side by side at John 4 Special into the 3 and 4 complex. The 7's going to surge ahead, but watch Dunwoody get a big time run here on the high side. Who led it at the line? Dunwoody by 3 1/1000ths of a second.
3 1/1000ths in favor of Dunwoody that time by. He has led the majority of this race so far, but right now he's just trying to survive out front as we work lap 62. Don't look away because we're coming up on stage 2 at lap 80. Time is running out once again. We're not quite to Kesha levels, but we're getting.
The driver of the 7 back door was just puckering like he had Carolina Reapers for dinner.
Yeah, well, he held on to it. That's the good thing. But right now, alongside teammate, this is where it gets sketchy. You got your teammate to the outside. You don't want to make a boo-boo brain and get up into him there and cause yourself a problem. You might not have a ride next week if you do. He about boo-boo brain.
Well, I'll tell you what, in the words of Phil Collins, I can feel it coming in the air tonight. But not like you said, Matt, you got the teammates side by side. They're kind of working against each other right now instead of with each other. And then not only that, you got Mr. Black Magic on the high side of the racetrack. Then you got the W infused energy drink on the low side. What happens when you take energy and mix it with Black Magic?
Black Magic energy?
Well, we'll go with that.
Dunwoody, if you do that, copyright that. So, yeah, there's that. I want royalties in retribution or whatever it's called. I've been watching Shark Tank.
I was thinking it could be the equivalent of a garbage truck driving through a nitroglycerin plant.
This Savage continuing the lead right now, trying to hang on to the race lead. He's got company all over him at the moment.
Yeah, a lot of company and not the preferred type, if you know where I'm going with that. The 25 just put the squeeze job in between the 13 and Dunwoody working the high side of the racetrack. Oh, big time moment there for the 25. He almost kicked the biscuit coming off the corner. And Matt, that tells me that right rear on these cars are starting to give up.
Yeah, it does. And daggone it now, I want a butter biscuit. Daggone it. Out front goes Derek Contigo in the lead. Camaro versus Ford out front. Brian Sharp right there in the Sharpie catbird seat with a big smiley face on the hood.
And not only that, you got the master of disaster right behind Dunwoody on the high side. Who let Kendall Paul sneak up to second place on this outside lane?
Who opened the door and let the storm chaser in? He's trying to motivate forward. He's like, hey, guys, I got radar hits, and I'm coming. Down up the top side he goes, trying to carry the momentum up there.
Yeah, he's got some big-time mojo working the high side of the racetrack. Now he needs his buddy in the 72 to go up there and give him a little tap, little tappy-roo, Happy Gilmore style down the backstretch. However, the opposite happens, and the 25 W machine goes and gives the zest to the driver of the 7. That's going to put him back side by side with his teammate with another photo finish here at the line. This time, Dunwoody grabs it again by 1/1000th of a second.
1/1000th. That's the only difference there is they try to lead right now. Right here, Kendall trying to line it up. Brian Sharp on the bottom. 2x2 parade like a pack of wolves here into turn 3, trying to look for a way to make it work. But right now, we're all stuck in place like super glue.
Yeah, speaking of super glue, these drivers wishing they had a fresh heaping of stucco out there on the racetrack because these cars are starting to drive like snowplows, especially on corner exit. You can see how they start to do the jig on entry, and then once they turn off the corner, when they try to put the throttle back down, because I do believe they're lifting right now, Matt, you can see those flames shooting out of the tailpipes on corner entry. That tells me these cars are becoming a handful. And then when you add the side-by-side racing on top of it, that's making that air a little more turbulent. And I'm telling you, disaster is in the making. You can almost see it getting ready to happen as we're 3x3 now.
Yeah, we are, and we're starting to dice around. Man, these cars are more unstable than me trying to walk at the moment. Right now, on edge up front, Derek up the hill trying to hang on. First through 6 side by side. 7th falling off right now, but we got about 8 to go in what is stage 2, number 2 in the Georgia Peaches 250.
I mean, right now, last time by at the line, the interval from 1st to 6th, less than 1/10 of a second out there on a racetrack. That's how close quarters this battle is on the racetrack. You can literally pitch a tent right over these guys.
Man, the only thing I'm hoping is we don't have a big pile up, because if we do, who are we going to have left? That's going to be the problem. Not me.
Well, I can tell you this right now. I'm not sure who it is, forgive me here. There's a car in the field that has PB Blaster, I believe, sponsored on that Ford Mustang. That could be Ted Craven or Jason Henney or Heaney. He could be sitting in the catbird seat if these 6 cars do decide to go nuclear, as he's kind of in that deploying that window of safety, working a few cars. Oh, my goodness!
Jesus almighty.
In the words of Bon Jovi, Dunwoody was living on a prayer with that move, and it worked.
I about pissed myself when I'm in the booth. Like, holy moly. Oh my goodness. And I'm going to get some straps in the broadcast booth and strap us in like a driver is. Look at the car of Brian there dancing around.
Yeah, Sharp's car is dancing around. Dunwoody's dance partner in the 7. on the high side of the racetrack, he was doing the jig. And all of this going on, and you can kind of see the split decision out here on the racetrack right now. You got these 3-4 cars here at the front that are just going for it, lights out. Kendall Paul is starting to see the writing on the wall. He was trying to get out of the situation. However, that 72 is not letting him back off. In fact, Paul had to put his foot back in it. Otherwise, he was going to get ran over by that Ford.
Yeah, he was. And take a look back to the bottom. Black Magic bottom feeding this racetrack with Kendall Paul right behind him. David Dunwoody. Look at these cars on edge, sliding it sideways on the exit right.
Yeah, these drivers putting on one heck of a show as these Dr. Feelgoods become Dr. Feelgood. Oh, there it goes! What a power slide by Dunwoody as he goes John Deere mode, puts some grass and Earnhardt style back out onto the racing surface.
Oh,
and Matt,
the 7. Oh, the 7.
Come on, come one, come all. Let's do some X Games drifting out there on the racetrack.
Man, this is 40 laps into a run, and look at these race cars absolutely on edge. Kyle Heath going to get away with another one here? How does he do
could.
this?
Well, I'll tell you what right now, if you're Jason Hinney in the 9 perhaps, who's about 10, 15 seconds behind this big-time battle on the racetrack, the 91 of Ted Craven, again, way off the pace. Michael Kirk.
Paul out of shape. Dunwoody out of shape. Jeez almighty.
My point being is, they made Dunwoody's going to pulverize the wall as they go 3 seconds.
Dunwoody into the inside wall. That car's done for the evening, folks.
Well, I know it says Blaster on it. Oh, that's a big-time impact as Dunwoody got absolutely dusted.
Now, one to go in the stage this time by Kyle Heath, watching the mirror. Paul and John somehow surviving. 1 lap to go in the stage.
1 lap to go in the stage, and it's an old-style Friday night shootout here in Atlanta. The 72 of Johnny B. Good is flying on the high side of the racetrack. However, the 13 of Heath, he has other plans as he pulls it down low. They drag race into the 3-4 complex. Here comes Kendall Paul. The 72 gets loose. That's going to kill the momentum as he chases it up the racetrack. And Kyle Heath, the Mad Magician, he's going to go back-to-back and win stages 1 and 2 here at Atlanta.
And these guys are so happy to see the end of the stage here.
Well, Matt, before it really popped off at the front of this piece, when I was talking about, Bins or, Kirk and Hodgson, those guys that are 1 lap down that were far, far away from this battle on the racetrack, if it did pop off, and unfortunately, David Dunwoody was one of the mass casualties there, those drivers, that was the best solution, the best recipe for them because they didn't catch any of that mayhem. Now, hey, you play your cards right here. You're gonna get the benefit. You're gonna benefit from the lucky dog. That's doing what you need to do. The keys to success to keeping your car alive and being there at the end when it counts.
Man, well, okay. Let's do some thinking here. Let's put our smart brain on for a second. I know me and you're not very good at this, but we got it. We went 40 laps in the first 2 stages. At the end of 40, each stage, these cars were pure evil. That means we got to go 80 to the end. Right? So
I think if we stay under green flag conditions, and I think that's the big if. Because as you said, around the 40 lap mark, these cars get pure evil. If that green flag does reign supreme, I think what you do is you play it safe, you split it in half. 40 laps, come down, take 2 Kansas Sunoco racing fuel, throw some fresh Goodyears on it, you send it out there on the racetrack again, and that should get you to the finish. As we currently see your stage 2 winner currently in his pit box, that Jack man going to work on that race car. And not to change the subject, Matt, but look at all the damage on that Black Magic 28 Dark Horse Ford Mustang when he got catapulted into that safer barrier right before the end of stage 2.
I mean, he didn't just get catapulted. He got launched like the clown at the circus out of the cannon into that outside wall. And that pretty much put an end to his hopes of winning here tonight in Atlanta in the Georgia Peaches race. Man, oh man alive. I don't know what to say, man.
I think that car lost about 6 inches in the width department from that impact.
Yeah, man, it's no bueno. And if you think this is crazy tonight, tomorrow night we're back and we're at Thunder Valley, baby. Bristol, Tennessee. For tomorrow night's race in the playoffs of the Truck Series. We will do the dance right tomorrow night. The admin box 200 live at Bristol Motor Speedway. Coming your way right here on Extreme Sim TV.
The last great Coliseum / the world's fastest fishbowl.
/ we're going to have some fun come tomorrow night.
That's going to be rowdy, all-out mayhem in Thunder Valley. But I'll tell you what, these drivers here are not disappointing. They are not letting us down up here in the booth, and all of the fans fired up watching here live on Extreme Sim TV. And with all this going on, how does Fancy Pants Brian Sharp come out of this with the lead?
I don't know, but take a look here. I'm looking next week. You ready for this one, buddy? 1 week from tonight. We go racing in the Xfinity Series from Bristol, starting the playoffs. Now, the reason why we haven't talked about it, well, to be honest with you, the playoff field pretty well set at this point. But, man, that could be a blaster. Actually, we're a couple of weeks away from the start of the playoff. Well, I clicked on the wrong thing. Don't ask. I clicked on the wrong thing. Don't ask.
The longer you went, the further you're burying yourself on that one, buddy.
Okay. All right. Let's redo this. You ready to redo this?
Let's reset and try it again.
Reset. All right. Next race up for the Xfinity Series, not a playoff race. Watkins Glen Raceway. Then we go to Bristol, and then we go around the 12. Geez, if I could speak correctly, it'd be amazing. Look at the right schedule.
Well, you know, one of those tracks that you mentioned really piqued my interest, and that's the super speedway of road courses, Watkins Glen. That used to be my home track growing up, as I'm from, just outside the Finger Lakes in the Niagara region of New York State. Spent a lot of time there as a kid, growing up, watching those races. That one there, you got to be ready for a surprise winner. Some of these guys in this field, I know, really pride themselves on road course racing as well. So that's a race that I have circled. I'm going to pay close attention to the outcome of that one.
Boo, New Yorker. Boo.
I don't live there anymore.
Still boo. Our friendship.
He said art and friendship's amazing as he's giving me the boo bucket over here.
So folks, Pterodactyl was supposed to join us 1 week ago. However, about 45 minutes before the broadcast, I get a message from his wife saying, "Hey, buddy, the van broke down." Because, Pterodactyl has no luck.
Sometimes, luck isn't on your side. However, the green flag is back in the air, and Brian Sharp unleashes the madness here at Atlanta as he's back out of the loud pedal and climbing up the H pattern one more time as he continues to carry the torch here as we're getting back up to the speed for the final round here from Atlanta.
Final stage of the Georgia Peaches 250. The remaining race cars that don't look like crap starting to roll here. You see the
Trivia question of the night, not to cut you off, Matt. Since the name of the race is Georgia Peaches, who was the band in the 1990s that Gump rhymes with the other name of the song? Weird Al made a spin-off of it. Their second biggest hit, song name was Peaches. Name me that band in the YouTube chat. Or Matt, I'm going to ask you right here live on the air. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Nope. And I assume Google's TV, so I'm not going to do that.
So weird. This band came out of nowhere in the mid 90s. They were almost a one-hit wonder, but technically they weren't, because their other song, Peaches, hence, where I taken from the name of this race, got so big, Weird Al Yankovic actually spoofed the other song that I'm referring to, and instead of calling it Lump, he named it Gump.
We got to be talking about NSYNC here, but anyway.
No, this is not a boy band song at all. It's actually quite far opposite of the spectrum.
But you might like boy band songs. But I tell you, a boy band out front yet again. And I don't know how he does this. He don't have his teammate, the old engine number 7, doing his best NSYNC impression out front.
You're saying he's going bye 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 bye?
Exactly. I can be on the board. I've lost my. It's official. Sharp continuing to lead. Dunwoody out. Trevor out. Early out. There are more cars out right now than at a used car lot.
Well, I'll tell you what, with all the carnage we've had out there on the racetrack, especially as of recent, right before the end of that stage 2, it's looking like a used car parts. You buy it, you sell it, we pull it, you fix it type races. Some of these Camaros are going to start having some of the front ends of the Fords on there before all is said and done.
You're dang on right. And I think what we're seeing here, Derek got a shape again, but I think everybody's calmed down because they know they've got this 80-lap run, right? They know this. They know what the tires have been doing around lap 40. I think we're going to see everybody kind of calm down.
That, and they're probably trying to eat a couple peaches right now, because you said we have an endurance stint right here as we're currently just starting to chip our way into. And Brian Sharp out there in the 125 ride, carrying the torch, being fueled by that W energy. He's vibing right now.
Yes, sir. He's vibing right along W style out front. What a season for Brian Sharp. He hasn't had anything go right in a while. How big of a shot in the arm momentum style would it be if Brian Sharp was the man to lead Atlanta today?
It could be a renaissance as far as your race season goes, a rebirth, especially when things just aren't going your way. If Sharp could be having one of those seasons where no matter what he does, it just does not go right for him out on the racetrack. In spite of all the hard work, preparation, the practice, it just takes one race. And why not a place like Atlanta, the standard textbook 1.5 mile cookie cutter that has the reinvigorated soul now of a super speedway, which we say is the great equalizer to turn Brian Sharp's season around. He's played it right through the first and second stage. Now out here, when it's the money, when it's almost getting time, for the money in prime time, Brian Sharp's out here leading, doing his thing. It could be the perfect recipe for the driver of the 125 should he punch his ticket here and come home with a big W in Atlanta.
Yeah, big W time would be huge for him here tonight. Just 95 in the 165. I'm going to turn it over to you because I'm about to sneeze, so I'll be right back.
All right, well, remember, you can't sneeze while taking a pee. You might blow your lower unit out. So hopefully Matt doesn't do that. Is
At this current moment.
I'm not sure what he said. Hopefully he didn't fall over in the chair laughing so hard. As we're starting to get racy up here at the front. David Dunwoody's car is demolished. He has already put it on the hauler. However, his sidekick, his mojo, Derek Jewett out there on the racetrack holding it down for the Black Magic gang out there on the racetrack, and he is starting to turn up the excitometer inside the cockpit of Brian Sharp's race car.
Oh, we got answers. Somebody said Black Eyed Peas.
Nope.
Nope. Somebody said My Hump.
Nope, it's not Black Eyed Peas.
I don't know what My Hump or Bengals meant, but we got answers.
Okay, so now Black Eyed Peas, that's, turn of the century. That's 2000s. I almost put that into the modern era of music. So I'm talking late 90s here. Remember, I referenced the movie Forrest Gump, and I also talked about Weird Al Yankovic back when he was in his prime. I'll give you guys one more shot at it. Their second biggest hit, the name of the song was Peaches, hence the name of this race. I forget the name of the race now. You got me so tuned into the music side of this thing now. However, it was a big-time 90s band. They came on out of nowhere. Their number one song was Lump, and the Weird Al spinoff was Gump after Forrest Gump. Give me the name of the band.
All right. We're back on the hunt for the name of the band as we stay single file. I did not turn my chair over. For reference, I'm in a love seat now, so I don't think that's possible.
It's the alternative rock. It's the alternative rock genre. To help you guys out as well.
All right, 10 people watching. Thank you everybody for coming out here tonight as we continue single file party out front. Nobody making any big moves right now. This is what we call SaveMyTires.com at the moment.
Yep, this is rubbers for tuggers. We're just doing what we can to save those radials out there on the racetrack. Save the tires. And these drivers are driving like they're trying to do just that. And Matt, if you guys at home, are wondering why, well, look back no further to the end of stage 1 and stage 2. Right around that 38 to 40 lap mark, these cars got absolutely twisted, possessed, as Matt J said, ugly out there on the racetrack. And now these drivers are applying what they learned. So single file it is, let her rip, tater chip, Cletus McFarland style. However, I can guarantee you before all is said and done, we're going to turn the dial back up and it's going to get wild here coming to the end at Atlanta.
Well, you take a look at this run. We're 20 laps in this run right now, which means we're about 20 laps away from where we saw those tires get really mad, really fast.
Speaking about really, really fast, I mean, these guys turning some of the fastest laps of the race right now here, single file, and that makes sense. They have, you have the air advantage. You have less turbulent air. You have less side drafting going on, obviously, because these cars are nose to tail out there on the racetrack. And that always translates to speed. And you can see that being reflected in the lap times right now.
Yeah, everybody keeping it nice and subtle, not doing anything wild. And we'll see it pick up later in the night. But right now, to your point, it's survive to get to the end here this evening.
And these drivers are trying to survive. I'll give you the answer to the trivia question. The band, the Presidents of the United States of America.
And Ben just put it in chat, so Ben got it.
All right, that's what I'm talking about. That man knows his music. The Presidents of the United States of America. If you haven't heard the song Lump, if you've never heard it, Look it up on YouTube. Give it a play. Even to this day, it's got some relevance to it. It's got a heck of a hook. And if you want to slow things down just a little bit, listen to the song Peaches as well, inspired by the race you're watching tonight.
105 on the board. And I want to throw a party foul on Ben. I'm 90% sure, and he admitted to it that he Googled it. That he
Hey,
does not get.
You know what? Nothing wrong with, you know what? Hey, back when you had Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, you got to phone a friend. Why not use Google in clutch moments like this?
I guess that's what they invented it for. Well, we stay single file, no change on the racetrack. Broadcast booth got the pizza delivered up here. Thank you to DoorDash for that. The styrofoam plates are on the left there, Matt. 106 complete. So right now, everybody continuing to run single filed out right now here this evening. And I do want to give one shout out here while we got a shot below in the activity. Big shout out to Pterodactyl's wifey wife over there for letting me steal him away for the evening that wasn't planned. Thank you to her.
Hey, she said, not a problem. She said she understands that you and I have a good time doing this together. And hey, tomorrow night she knows we're kicking things off officially for the return of the playoffs. So why not get a little bit of a jump start here tonight with some Thursday night action as well?
There we go. I got to ask her when I get the mistress tag. When do I get that? Have I earned that tag yet?
Pretty sure you have.
Yes. All right, 109 on the board. Brian out front, continuing to lead right now. Right behind him, Derek there in the mix also. Still single file, no change. Derek losing the teammate though. 109 this time by of 163. John gonna step out of line. He's a Lone Ranger up top.
He's a Lone Ranger, not a stranger, but he's out there on the high sideline. I think he's doing a little homework, perhaps. Getting down to the end of this thing, some of these drivers will start to time things out and just figure out how long exactly it will take to go from the back to the front. And you see this you see this in iRacing, especially on the super speedways. And since the repave at Atlanta, this racetrack falls right into that wheelhouse. So I'm not surprised to start to see a couple of these drivers do their homework, put the seat time in to figure out exactly how long it'll take when the crows come home to roost here near the end of this thing.
Yeah, it's all a timing thing at the very end here, as it always is at a place like Atlanta. You really got to plan what you're going to do at the end here tonight, and you got to plan it well, and you got to plan it early.
And again, right now, these drivers just buying time. It's all about just clicking laps off the board. You know, basically these drivers, all they want to do is see those laps continue to wind down. They want to stay in contention, stay on the lead lap. Right now, I mean, these drivers know they cannot make it. They cannot go the distance from here. They have the money stop looming. Now, a caution flag completely changes everything. But Matt, how many times in these races like this, when the stakes get high, we see just bizarre and wild things happen on the money stop? Sometimes these drivers that are clutch, they never make a mistake. That money stop will get them. You try to get too greedy coming on to, the entry of pit road. You lock the tires up. You do the slide for life in the grass, or, worst case scenario, you get busted for speeding, and that can completely shatter your hopes and dreams of winning this race. So big things on the horizon for these drivers, as we cannot go the distance from here.
And yes, for reference, we're at lap 30, Matt, of what would be that 40-lap marker that we talked about. So again, we're at lap 30 here in the stage. run. So that means in the next 10 laps, expect to start seeing some really evil race cars.
Well, now, to be fair, we were saying that based upon the intensity in the racing, we were seeing, during the later stages of stage 1 and stage 2. For a majority, since we took dropped the green flag to kick off stage 3, that these drivers have really toned things down a lot. We've been single file. We haven't seen a lot of the big pushing, the close quarters combat racing out there on the racetrack. So we could see these drivers try to stretch that a little bit further should they have enough juice in the box, referring to the fuel tank in that race car. We're just going to have to wait and see how this plays out.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see who plays what, when, where, and how in these closing stages here of the Georgia Peaches 250. Will it be Brian Sharp turning his season around? It'd be a huge win here tonight in Atlanta if he could pull it off here in that W machine out front. That would be big. I cannot understate how big that would be for the driver of Brian Sharp here tonight if he could somehow do this. Taking a look here at his season so far, Pterodactyl, and what he's seen throughout the year, and it has been not so amazing here in this season. Can he do something somewhere to pull it together?
Well, there's no time like the present, and that is now. He's out there leading. Every circuit, every lap that Sharp leads, that's going to increase your confidence. That does so much for a driver that's been behind the 8 ball for a majority of the season. Each time you let Sharp go out there and lead another lap, seeing and getting the confidence that he has the pace in that dark horse Mustang to get the job done, that is fueling a fire-breathing dragon. And I'm telling you, there's no way to completely turn around your season for a driver like Sharp than to punch your ticket into victory lane here. It's like a seasonal renaissance, for the driver of that W 125 machine.
Keep in mind here, when he back here in the spring, he finished 30th in the Atlanta race here in the spring. So this would be a huge come up for him if he could even get inside the top 5 compared to his spring performance.
Well said, Matt. I could not agree with you more, buddy.
Yeah, that's gonna be a thing for him. What about Derek? Another driver right there behind him who has had an up and down year. Currently sets in second. My opinion, another driver that could use a big night. I mean, taking a look here at Derek's here, and Derek's first attempt here at Atlanta, he finished 23rd. So think about that. The top 2 finished 30th and 23rd the first time here, and right now they lead.
Yeah, right now, like you said, they lead, or they run 1-2 out there on the racetrack. And it's a very similar story, and that's why, we call these types of racetracks the great equalizer. It doesn't matter how bad your season has been up until this point, or on the other side of the coin, how perfect it could be. Like some of these drivers that are, currently at the top of the totem pole, as quickly as the good could go or from the bad to the good side of things, it can go from feast to famine, for some of these other drivers as well. It goes both ways. It really does.
It goes from good turkey to bad turkey really quick.
He says, I could make a meat reference here, but I'm not going to.
That's all about shot placement, right? You shoot the turkey wrong, then you have bad turkey. That's just how that works.
Ah.
Brian Sharp continuing to lead.
Oh, Matty left the can wide open on that one.
Sharp, Derek, John right there as well. Well, right here, we are single filed out, just waiting on the turkey to get back up here. So while we do that, we're going to go to Crank It Up. What do you think, buddy? Do you want to do Crank It Up? Let's do Crank It Up, everybody. Woo, Crank It Up.
Oh, we're cranking it up.
I'm a kid.
Just like everything up here in the Extreme Sim TV broadcast booth.
All right, we got this. All right, crank it up. I brought them up.
I'm gonna grab a drink. I'll be right back, buddy. Did you hear me? Okay. Yeah, I just want to make sure you heard me say I was grabbing a drink. I'll be right back.
All right, welcome back to the Extremer Sim TV broadcast booth as we continue to roll here tonight from Atlanta. The front of the field still single filed out. No loops, no nothing right now from anybody. Nobody hitting pit road just as yet. Again, we're going to need a pit stop here before the end of the Georgia Peaches 250. Here tonight, and it's Brian Sharp continuing to dominate here this evening. Sharp as a knife out front right now. Right here, Derek Jewett right there behind him trying to come coalesce up front. Co-work together. Nice job working our way through. At this moment, we continue to roll here in Atlanta. 130 of 165 going on the board. You know what that means? Roughly 35 laps to go here tonight. One car going to dive down out of the way. He's going to run for the heels to the bottom. We got to start looking at pit stops here very soon for the end of this race. Again, you can't make it on fuel. You definitely don't want to try it on tires either. But right now, so far, so good. Single filed out nice and calmly at the moment. Now working our way down. Here tonight, 30 of 163 in the book. We've been single file for the last little bit. And guess what? We continue to do that. Man, oh man, oh man. Field continuing to roll. Man, oh man, 31 on the board. Single file party right now.
You know, it's single file right now, but I promise you, when it comes down to 10 laps to go, 5 laps to go, that's not going to be the complexion of the race. It's going to be a side-by-side foreign affair here.
Yeah, it's going to change really quick, right?
Quick, fast, and in a hurry. Faster than the lap times these guys are turning out there right now. That's for certain.
32.5 last time by as they ran. Here tonight, we stay single file. Derek's car starting to dance around. We ran 49 laps here since pit stops. I expect them on pit road pretty much any time.
Yeah, that pit window has opened, and it has opened quick, fast, and furiously as Brian Sharp continues to lead the train, the single file train. In fact, just as I say that, the 13 thought about taking a peek to the high side. He just didn't have any help, no mojo to help give him a push. So with that being said, he's going to stay locked.
We're just going to stay lockstep here, I think, till we get the pit stop.
In fact, Hodgins just broke the airwaves and said he is going to be pitting in next time by to look for that 88 to peel off and come down pit road. Is green flag pit stops will be underway momentarily here from Atlanta.
So who goes when? And here we go. We start to think Hodgins to pit road now. The first car down.
Or he could be trying some trickery here and just, fake the field out. I've seen drivers do that from time to time.
Oh, he's on pit road, just wasn't in the front pack. So, but I think that does tell us a little bit, right? If he's down, I think other guys will be soon to follow.
He's trying to stay off cycle here, use those fresh tires to his advantage. However, he came down pit road without a battle buddy. And Matt, as you know, 2 cars here are definitely faster than 1.
Yeah, well, 2 is faster than 1, 3 is faster than 2, 4 maybe possibly faster than 3. Right now, you want as many battle buddies on pit road as you can get when you do commit to come down, because if not, we're going to go right to the rear here. We got slower traffic up in front of the pack yet again. Sharp continuing to lead this pack. Oh, indecisive.
That's how fast it can change, folks. Right there.
That is what I call indecisive by a lap car. He just went one way, went the other, and they were there. He'd have been better off, I think, just to hold it to the bottom if he could have.
Yeah, that right there, sounded the sirens. It almost yanked the donkey right out of the 88.
Yeah, I mean, Brian coming up on that was probably like, oh, what the world? I mean, I could imitate what the drivers were saying when that happened. It was probably bleepity, 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 what the bleepity were you bleepity doing?
It's like that episode of SpongeBob.
Yes. Exactly. SpongeBob got evil for a minute.
SpongeBob got evil for a minute.
He didn't want to make no more Krabby Patties.
No. Or in this case, Splatty Patties, because that's what it almost was out there on the racetrack. The 88 almost flat out lost it trying to get off off that racing surface.
The Extreme Sim Splatty Patty is the best Splatty Patty for me and you.
No matter how you roll the dice.
All right, continuing to roll here right now. Krusty Krab pizza is the best. Oh no, it's stuck in my head now. Rolling the bottom.
Krusty Krab pizza with a touch of pineapple.
140 on the board this time by.
Well, 140 on the board. And this gets back to what I was saying for a little earlier in the broadcast. With these drivers really dialing the intensity back over the course of this run, I mean, I think you're going to see them stretch that envelope a little bit further as these drivers, at least as of yet in the lead pack, not showing any signs of coming down pit road just yet.
I know in chat, most likely everybody watching is like, why are they staying single file? Well, at this point, that's the best thing to do. Get to the end, right? That's your goal. We're about 20 laps away from there. So your goal right now is just keep this car straight, keep your track position. Don't do anything wild at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, you start going 2x2, side by side, and that is a one-way ticket out of this race. I mean, you've seen what happened to one of the clear favorites, to end stage 2, and that was the death of, the virtual death of David Dunwoody's race car.
Yeah.
And that on the other side has really opened the door for Brian Sharp here in the 125. As you said, Matt, this season has not, added up to his expectations, hopes, and dreams thus far throughout the course of the season. But yet, here we are.
Yeah.
142 laps on the board, less than 30 laps to go. And Brian Sharp on the dawn of potentially punching not only a win ticket, but a trip to the playoffs as well.
Yeah, man, he's in great, tremendous shape right now. He's just got to keep doing what he's doing. Keep that 7 at bay. We know how strong the 7 was earlier, but he has lost his cohort in David Dunwoody at this point.
He's lost his shake and bake.
Yeah, he's lost his fries. There, his fries in the YouTube chat, if you will.
But hey, one man's famine is another man's feast. There we go, is a 72 machine, and Kendall Paul, the man with 2 first names, breaks radio silence as you can see them lining up and take a trip down pit road for their money stop, Matt.
Yeah, there they are, both cars down pit road. Now the words will start to crackle across the field that they're on pit road. Now does this front pack come down as well? Team orders and all these things kind of out the window. They've all been broken apart. Kurt Paul Hooch on pit road. Sharp, I thought Sharp was going to commit to pit road, does not. There is the 7 behind him. When do you come down and how do you handle it? Because you've already got a couple of cars committed to pit road, 18 laps to go. And yes, indeed, the pterodactyl is back on a Thursday night, in the words of David Dunwoody.
The pterodactyl is back on a Thursday night here in prime time. As you hear the leader 125 machine being piloted by Brian Sharp calls out going down pit road. The 7's going to come with him. In fact, that's David Dunwoody's battle buddy now working with the 125 of Sharp as they now jump hard on the binders. Sharp's miracle night almost went up in a blaze of glory as he was able to corral that race car and get it wound up just in time. I don't think we're going to see a speeding penalty there, Matt, but it got dicey there for a minute as the 7 and 125 have their pit boxes in sight. Get ready for them to lock it down. No mistakes here. Don't want to see any type of slip-ups. You don't want to go over that white line. You'd have to throw it in reverse. That costs precious time out there on the racetrack. Beautiful execution. As Sharp goes fuel only, so does the 7, as they're going to have a great exit off of pit road here. 3 cars are going to be faster than 2. Now we have to see what the new tires did for Kendall Sharp out there on the racetrack. Look for him to be closing in on this group as they come off of pit road.
Kendall Sharp coming off a third 2 now as they work through Paul right there with Turkey and John Hooches. All right, Kyle on pit road. This is going to be the race for the race lead, my man. Here we go. The 7 got up and going. Take a look. Kyle Heath exiting right now. Who's it going to be? Ted Craven leading this second back. Man, this is going to be big. 15 to go, buddy.
I'll tell you what, Uncle Teddy's craving for more in the 91 machine. Here we go. Here's that 2x2 side-by-side action we were talking about. Big time run on the high side of the racetrack. Being led by the Fast and Furious Storm Chaser. We got big time problems as we have a can opener of problems that just exploded. Caution on the racetrack.
And the other blah, 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 the other Black Magic race car of Derek absolutely demolished, and caution is out.
I cannot believe what I just witnessed. Are you kidding me?
What a
Oh, I am sick to my stomach up here in the Extreme Sim TV broadcast booth. I don't even want to look at a replay.
Well, what the?
I mean, I know we have to, but I'm just saying for myself, that was just so painful to watch.
I mean, John, buddy, I hate to say this, but I don't think there was a lane down there, my guy. Oh, he made the move to go low. Let's go for another angle. Remember, the red line rule was in effect. Kendall was going to get by it there on the bottom. It's so close to getting right reared by the 91. That was close as a pineapple right there. All right, let's go a little bit further here.
I mean, the 78 of Kendall Paul had some serious stew coming out there on the racetrack, and it just gets ugly from there, folks.
All right, we're on board with the 72. Let's take a look at what happened down the back straightaway at Atlanta. John's got a big run here. I mean, there's a lane there below the 7. What's going to happen here is he's going to go to take it, and watch. That lane's going to close. You can't go below the red. He tries to straddle it here to not technically go below it. And yeah, just wow, just not enough room. The hole closed rapidly. Folks, what we have here is a great explanation of a hole that you think is there, closing really rapidly. And that right there is the outcome. 3 great race cars destroyed. And look at Kendall Paul sneaking through, kind of like Kesha on a Friday night. Just snaking through the field here on board with Kendall. You see the move right in front of him? And you already know right there is going to be bad. There it is. And Paul is like, nope, right on by.
When Lady Luck is on your side, it almost looks easy. And, Kendall Paul found the right seam, the right hole at the right time out there on the racetrack and is able, almost biblical. The parting of the Red Seas gave him a lane to drive through the chaos and the mayhem out there on the racetrack. All that strategy we were talking about earlier, Matt, when I said if it stays green, that was the big question mark. Well, take Larry McNugget's notes, crumple them up, throw them out the window. This changes everything. Now you re-rack, restack everyone on the lead lap. Under 20 laps to go.
Yes,
Gonna be Friday night, short track, local track style shootout here to the end. And I don't think this is the last caution flag we see. When Daytona, think about Daytona, think about Talladega, a late race caution with the intensity just cranked up to the max as an iracing.com pace car pulls off down pit road. That's going to give Brian Sharp the button, and he's going to unload in the Geico restart zone. Gets a great run here, climbing back up through the gearbox. Is green flag back in the air at Atlanta.
Now this is going to become how many cars are technically able to run here. You see the top 4 break away. I think the other 3 pretty well damaged. This might be a 4-car party at the front of the field, and that's going to help Sharp dramatically here. He's only got to worry about 2 to 3 race cars behind him and how to handle the runs coming behind him.
Well, I don't think you want the runs out there at any point in time. In fact, you don't want the runs, period. I mean, outside of even racing here on the simulators, the 13 going to get a big-time run here on the high side of the racetrack. Sharp's ready for it, though. He comes up and throws a little bit of a side draft, but as he looks in his rearview mirror, he's got a new friend in town, and that is the driver of the 78 Dark Horse Ford Mustang. Kendall Paul is there to make it a two-car affair.
You know, I've got a little bit of a thought about this. As fun as it is to watch them 2x2 right now, I'm not sure that I'd be doing this yet, Matt. The 4 cars out front are the strong cars. I don't know, and I may be wrong, but I believe I would jump in line and just ride, not risk it right now.
Well, I'll tell you what. Should these 4 cars here in this lead pack, there's another car that's starting to close them back in with a little bit of damage, and that's that PB Blaster number 54 machine, who's working just about, 2 to 3 tenths of a second. In fact, he has got their draft, and he is starting to wheel them back in, and that is Michael Kirk. He could potentially play the spoiler here.
Now, keep in mind, there's 1 car up here in the lead pack that is a lap down. So think about that. And I think that's the 9 of Jason. He's 9 laps down here, and he's up here in the lead pack. That's always dicey when you're a lap down here. So technically your top 4 is going to be the 54 right there, pulling back in. But Jason all over the back bumper, up the back canal right now of 1. Kyle Heath down the back straightaway with 8 laps to go in Atlanta.
Well, I'll tell you what, the 9 ride may be 9 laps down, but he is going to do everything he can to help that Chevrolet on that high side of the racetrack punch his ticket to victory lane. And these other competitors on the racetrack, Sharp, Kendall Paul, better treat that car like it's a lead lap car, because it's going to be out there giving the rest of these guys fits until the drop of the checkered flag.
Tell you what, a little peek behind the curtains at home. It's always dicey when you got a lap down car up here racing with the leaders, because usually if something happens, it's like dropping a bomb in the Discord. All bejesus breaks loose all of a sudden. So hopefully that don't happen here tonight with 6 laps to go. You got the 4 leading cars. I understand what the 9's doing, Matt, but I would almost like to see him drop out and let him go.
I can promise you that is not going to happen. I mean, that's the only, friendly out there in the field right now as far as in the Chevrolet camp goes. The rest of these guys are all, the blue oval, the Ford camp. And, if you're Kyle Heath right now in that 13, you're praying right now that 9 machine stays. That almost got ugly.
Well, he just lost his teammate because, he smacked the outside wall.
He just smacked the outside wall. But remember, this Xfinity car holds onto the draft a lot longer than the next gen. And in fact, that 9 still has the draft. And I think he's going to be back up here in the next lap and a half or so. In fact, he has drawn a bead on the back of the 54 being piloted by Kirk. He's coming.
Turkey right there to the back bumper, the 78. 4 laps to go in Atlanta. So Kyle Heath is up there in the top going, somebody come up here, and his prayers is answered, because here comes the 9 teammate right back to the back bumper here. Oh boy.
I told you it wasn't over yet. And the fact the 9 ride is back to the 13. Here we go. Let's unload him for another round here at Atlanta. Is handshake lap now in the air.
There we go. 3 laps to go here. Who's it going to be? Up the hill goes he. Kendall married to the back bumper is Sharp, trying to push him clear for all it's worth. Fire back. Did you see the fire coming out of the 78, backing off in the corner? Double pop, stick with sticks in the air this time by, Matt. We got 2 to go into Georgia Peaches.
Georgia's Peaches popping bottles here in Atlanta, 2 by 2, side by side, as we fire through the turns 1 and 2 complex. 2 Chevrolets on the outside, going up against 3 fast Fords on the inside. Brian Sharp trying to throw a Hail Mary.
Oh,
Big time contact.
Oh, it's
Kendall
off. It's
Paul.
everybody. Sharp out of shape. And Paul's car, somebody get the medics over there to turn 3. Kendall Paul got yeeted. Yeet.
Kendall Paul, like a rain-wrapped tornado, got clipped by the rear flank downdraft, and he got sent helicopter style up into the fence, and big time damage to that Ford Mustang. Is we did not get the right flag, so you know what that means, ladies and gentlemen. If we can't get it in under green flag conditions in the scheduled 165 laps, we're going to pop the jokers out of our sleeve, and we're going to overtime.
It's AMA overtime here tonight in Paul's car. Now, here's the funny part, guys. Paul's car is destroyed, but he's still running 4th. Ted Craven's 5th, 1 lap down. Jason is 6th, 8 laps down.
Paul's still going to come out of here with a great finish, given the amount of laps that we have left versus where the other competition is. However, not the finish Paul was looking for. In fact, he's probably madder than a Keebler elf that got demoted to Fudge Packer right about now. But Matt, what was I saying about that slightly damaged Ford Mustang that was hanging on for dear life to the tail end of this lead draft? All of a sudden, the master of blaster, the 54, running P number 2 in this one, who's going to restart here on the outside of Sharp when we go back to green flag action.
Yeah, he is. And how many cars are actually capable of getting up there and doing something? Even Sharp got sideways out of all that craziness down the back straightaway.
Well, clearly the 54 is going to be a little bit wounded here getting up to speed. We've seen that now in the past couple of restarts. It really takes that car about a lap and a half to get wound up. Is that enough time to be a factor? Well, even let's say we have an issue in this first round of overtime, we re-rack, restack, and do it again. We only technically get 3 laps. We get a green flag, a white flag, and a checkered flag. And really, that's not enough time for that PB Blaster machine to really get all the ponies under the hood up to full send. You know, this should be an easy win here for Sharp, but I dare say easy because how many times have we seen just wild, unexpected things happen here at races like this? It's never over until it's over.
No, it's not. It's never over, but the lights are out on the pace car. Look at what we've got on the racetrack right now. Man, oh man.
Hey, it's okay to 3-way.
Yeah, but, you know, the problem with that, look who's third. Kendall Paul is scored 3rd. What, are you kidding me?
I'll tell you what, it's shattered and battered, but it's still out there driving straight on the racetrack.
The 9 right there, he's 8 laps down. Who does he go with? Here we go. Looking like the wounded Keebler elves coming around here.
The wounded Keebler elves.
Here we go.
Oh.
You know, to go.
That they're gonna come out with a new cookie just because of that right there.
Here we go, down the front straightaway, through the Geico restart zone. Green flag in the air, we're underway. And the top side goes nowhere.
The top side's going to take a minute to get those ponies up to full steam, but look at Kendall Paul showing he's still got some pizzazz under the hood of that dark horse. Is Brian Sharp with the cleanest car out there in competition, able to sail away, but Sharp's car, Kendall Paul's car still looking like it's got some boogie underneath that hoodie as they go into the turns 3 and 4 complex, Matt.
And here comes Kirk with the 9. coming to the white flag. Does anything have anybody for Sharp? Here we go. One lap to go. Look at the outside. Kirk's coming.
Kirk's got it steamed up on the high side of the racetrack, but Kendall Paul knocking on the back door is Sharp as they fire down the backstretch here in Atlanta for the last time. Does Kendall Paul have enough to get a run, or is the 125 machine going to turn his season around here and punch his ticket to victory lane as he comes off and turn 4 for the final time? He's got Barney in sight, and Brian Sharp is going to go big here in Atlanta and score the victory and completely turn his season upside down. What a drive by Sharp.
And look at Kendall Paul finishing second, but Brian Sharp, first win of the season. Here it comes at Atlanta here tonight. Sharp is going to be he's going to be one happy Sharpie here tonight.
One happy Sharpie that's going to have all coming out tonight is that W Energy Ford Mustang. Had the goods under the hood when it mattered as he burned some donuts there in the grass. And you talking about, Matt, we talked about it earlier, when your season is not going the way that you planned and you're able to go out here tonight, each and every lap that he led just kept up, just kept increasing the confidence inside the cockpit of that race car for that driver, and able to go out there and get a clutch win, a big-time win here in this series. And now it's like a brand new beginning for Brian Sharp. Anything and everything is possible for this driver now. Perhaps they've awoken one of the greatest sleeping giants in this series with this type of a win for the 125.
All right, we're going to start interviews here from third to first. So we're going to go with the Kirk man coming home third here tonight. Michael, Kirk, Matt in the booth, you got a copy?
Yeah, buddy, I got you, man.
Well, P3, nice job, bud.
I appreciate it, man. Worked hard for that one.
Well, top 3, you worked your butt off, but you got it.
Yeah, I know we were a lap down there at one point, or 2 laps down, battled the way back, and somehow was able to get in that spot to get in that top 3, man.
Well, man, you did tremendous work here. Congratulations. I know you had a wounded race car late, but you were able to make it work.
I appreciate it. Thanks, buddy.
All righty, man. Anybody you want to give a shout out to, buddy?
No, just team owner Kendall Paul, all my teammates James and John. I know I was gone for a long time, outside of doing work things and not able to race with these guys for about 6 to 8 weeks. I'm glad to be back.
Yes, sir, man. There we go.
Appreciate it, bud.
All right, let's go talk to P2 Kendall Paul. We'll let Master Kirky go, and we'll talk to Paulie. Well, if I can get a hold of Paulie, that'd be great if I could get a hold of Paulie and he quit flipping out of my grass here. He's like he's covered in butter or something.
Is there? Oh.
Hey, it's the tornado wrangler himself, Kendall Paul. You got a copy?
I got you, man. What's going on? Oh,
Well,
Matt,
you went for a EF4 style spin cycle and then decided to come back to P2.
that was crazy. I was trying to give Brian the push because Kyle was starting to get to him, and I was kind of worried that Kyle was going to clear him with 4 to go. And heard the teammates say that he was coming down a little bit, but that's just part of all draft and everything. And Brian helped me to the win at Daytona, so I had to repay the favor there. And would have liked to help the Interstellar teammate of Michael Kirk, but just had James with a sore race car helping him. So on the restart, I knew it was ride or die with Brian.
10-4, man. Well, great job, buddy.
Yeah, it's good to get this Archway Storm Tracker 78, and I think Black Magic Studios is on the car. I can't even remember anymore. Good to get them on top 3 in the series again. I think with that second place, we take over second place in the standings with Don Mooney's early exit, sadly. But sadly, we'll have to miss out on the second place regular season standings as we'll miss Bristol, the regular season finale. So he'll probably most likely get the thing there. But I can't thank some sponsors enough. Can't thank the teammates enough. We all ran pretty well. We just got him kind of in some stuff.
There you go, man. Well, hey, Reed called. He wants his Dominator back now.
The super. Yeah, I didn't even realize I was going through. Did that many spins, and James was like, "You went for a ride." I was like, "Did I? I didn't feel like I went for that big of a ride."
Man, you've been watching Twisters too much.
I haven't even seen the new one yet. I got to buy it on YouTube TV or YouTube. I haven't even seen it yet.
I'm going to throw something at you. You haven't seen it yet?
No, I have not seen it yet.
Oh, my goodness.
And nobody would go to the movie theaters with me, so I wasn't going to go to the movie theaters by myself.
I rented
Get your popcorn ready, buddy. It is a ride of a lifetime.
I'm going to put it. I personally think it's better than the original.
Oh, you're going to put it there. Oh, no.
Yeah. Well, good luck, man, and I'll talk to you soon, buddy.
Yep, we'll see you at Bristol tomorrow, and we'll see you at the Glen for the Xfinity Series next week.
Yes, sir. All right, Kendall Paul, everybody, we'll let him go. We got one more. Mr. Pterodactyl in the booth with me. We're going to talk to Brian Sharp. Brian, you get a copy?
I do.
Well, how about a way to turn your season around like a win here in Atlanta?
Yeah, that was a hectic last final restart. I'm not quite sure if it was a bad bump going into 3 that caused that, or wasn't quite sure what happened, but I was surprised I was able to save it because the way it hit the apron, it was not. The wheels didn't want to do what it was supposed to.
Yeah, you almost went head on into the outside wall.
Yeah, yep. I definitely noticed that.
Well, Matt, you got anything for him?
Well, Brian Sharp, one heck of a drive from you tonight. Matt informed me that this season has not been up to your standards. It's been painful. Victory lane has eluded you at times. Things have happened to you out on the racetrack that you just could not seem to get rid of that dark voodoo cloud over that 125 ride. But tonight you completely turned the tides. You showed poise. You showed patience out there on the racetrack. You let things happen around you. You saved that race car for the end of this thing, and you put on one heck of a drive. Congratulations on the win, and I look forward to watching you continue this or keep up this momentum and this newfound energy over the course of your run through the playoffs, bud.
Yeah, I'm hoping we can make it a little farther into the playoffs. This, I believe, locks us into the next round automatically, so it makes it a little easier the next couple weeks.
Yep. There you go, man. Well, congrats, bud.
I just want to thank W Energy Admin Box, Black Magic Studios for all the paints that they've been putting together this season. It's been really great to see the progress of the company and what we're looking forward to the next season coming up. Just we got some new stuff coming.
And forward, man. Well, it's been fun, bud.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
All right. Well, it's that time where we say goodbye to the folks till tomorrow night. We go truck racing at Bristol. Thank you to the Pterodactyl for flying in on the wings here and helping me out here. And pretty sure you're going to see a lot of him around here for the next couple weeks.
Yeah, it's great to be back, and why not make a little surprise appearance? Which quite frankly was a high-octane thriller here at Atlanta. David Dunwoody looked like he had this thing almost on lock, but Atlanta shows its ugly face with some big-time calamity out there on the racetrack. And then how about Kendall Paul? He's doing his cord punching out there on the racetrack, gets blindsided by an RFD, goes helicopter mode into the fence, thought he was completely out of it, able to go down pit road, and he poises he's a big part of the finish of this race. But ultimately, Brian Sharp punching through, getting a much needed victory. Now he has some serious mojo on his side, and really looking forward to seeing what he can do with it in the weeks to come.
Yes, sir. All right, everybody. Thank you for coming out. We'll see you in Thunder Valley come tomorrow night, Bristol, Tennessee. One night away. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow night for the trucks. Have a great night, and we'll see you there. Oh,